Ball carrier down around the 40, looks like about the 42-yard line. As the Irish defense back on the field, looking for another big stop, is number 28 is the captain for this Irish defense, and that is Bubba Mills. Big stop there once again by Frankie Ramirez, as there was a huge collision. As the Irish looks to be running a 6-2 defense. As they like to move a lot of players around on defense. As every now and then you'll see Ramirez come up to a short linebacker. And another big stop, this carried by number 12, James Weiser. It's going to bring up third and about 4, it looks like. So not much change on the third possession of the Tigers. Waverly now lines up in an I backfield with splits to either side. And a little bit of running room, and we have a big run by the Tigers as number 26, Austin Malone, finds daylight and puts the Waverly Tigers on the scoreboard, their first score of the night. And really that has been the only play that the Tigers have had tonight. So that now brings the score to 14-6 with 4:34 left to play here in the first period. Is number 58, Clay Parker, will have the kicking duties for the Waverly Tigers. Snap is down and kick is up, and the kick is no good. So the Irish able to cling to an 8-point lead. As the return team for the Irish will have their first opportunity of the night to return a kick, and we've seen 2 big plays by Moran. So let's see who will get their opportunity here on the return team. As this is opening night for TWSA football. And Ramirez and Moran will be back deep for the Irish. On the front line, this Irish kickoff team is number 58, Cody Tomlinson. Number 4, Wesley Barnes on the far side. Number 85, Gavin Lewis to the near side. Number 54, Calder Taylor. And number 65, Cody Affleck, leads this front line of the Irish. As Clay Parker set to kick it off for the Tigers, and Moran looking for a little daylight, and the Tiger kickoff team collapses on Moran with not a lot of room to run. And we have a flag and did have a man down, but Waverly Central player able to get up. Alec Jones down for the Tigers, and looks like we have holding on the Irish, which is going to back them up a few yards, and ball will be spotted right about the 20-yard line as the Irish offense once again.
Y'all done had to swap earphones.
They quit again or something.
We'll have to work on that. First game of the year, so
Knock off the rug.
As Barnes to the near side and Ramirez to the far side. UC with the inside handoff, and
I've been out doing public relations.
might have picked up a half yard, and we're going to have a flag on the field. And let's see who this flag's going to be against. Looks like it's going to be against the Tigers.
I'm going. You want something else besides water?
That's going to be against Waverly. Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, as that's a big mark off against the Tigers as it moves the Irish closer to midfield. And the Irish once again will line up in the same formation. UC in command with a snap, fake handoff, looking to throw deep. And a little bit of wobble on the pass, but Ramirez goes up for it. Tries to out jump the safety, number 12, James Weiser, but ball falls incomplete. As Busey was able to get the ball away, was under quite a bit of pressure there. Still only brings up second down. Good attempt at a play downfield on first down. Now brings up second. Same formation. There's a pitch to Hunter Moran as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up third down. And sideline showing that he might have picked up a yard on the carry. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Don't be afraid to talk loud either, because you're going right into that.
This time the Irish break the huddle with Twins to the near side of the field. And we're going to have an offsides by Waverly as number 71, Alec Jones, realized as soon as the Irish went into a multiple count what he had done. So mark off of 5 brings up about 3rd and 5. Twins once again to the near side of the field. Busey looking to pass. It's completed to number 21, Ramirez. Pickup of about 2 yards, still going to be short of the first down. We'll bring up 4th and about 3. So the Waverly Tigers finally able to stop for the first time tonight this Irish offense. Barnes back to kick it away for the Irish. Going to get a good Irish bounce. This is going to roll down inside, almost inside the 15-yard line. It's going to be down to right about the 16. As Barnes got a good roll. So now the Irish, mean green defense back on the field. Waverly with splits to both sides. Big stop right at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a gain of a couple. Like number 54, Calder Taylor in on the tackle for the Irish. There's the pitch. Looking for a little room. Going to be tripped up by number 34 for the Irish, Jason Brooks. Jason able to trip him up, and he fell into a couple of Irish defenders. Don't know who initially was there on the tackle, but Brooks was there to begin with. And we're now down under a minute here in the first period on the first night of the Houston County Fighting Irish season, as the Irish playing host to the Waverly Central Tigers. And last year, Houston County went to Waverly and took the game from the Tigers at their home field. And he's going to be flushed and brought down as they put pressure on the quarterback. And number 56, Hunter Nichols, with a sack. As time is ticking away here in the first period, as Waverly Central punting unit comes onto the field. That now is brought up fourth down. And we're going to have a timeout called by Waverly. I really don't understand that call. Only 6 seconds left to play in the quarter. I believe I would have saved that. But that's their timeouts to call, and that'd be just, that's right. That'll be less that they have to use later in this half if they need it. But like I said, we're time slowly tick away here in the first period with a 14-6 score, and we're, like I said, we glad to be a part of this programming brought to you by WCBN. Everything that you see on WCBN is brought to you by volunteers, and they spend a lot of quality time making WCBN possible, along with a lot of sponsors. And I don't have the sponsor list with me now, so we will have to get that later on in the game, and we definitely don't want to miss nobody. I know if you watch WCBN, you can see it scrolling across the screen. And after the timeout, Moran and Ramirez back to receive the punt. And the Irish decide to let it roll. And with just a few seconds here in the first period, Irish offense back onto the field. And I was wondering about that. The clock never moved. The clock never moved, so must be a malfunction with the clock, and time expired, and so we now are at the end of the first period. Irish with a 14-6 lead as you hear the band, the 2013 Houston County Fighting Irish Pride of the Emerald Isle marching band, as they are playing during the intermission between periods. And if you look down below us, I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to see the 2013 Fighting Irish cheerleaders as they come to the ball games each and every Friday night to encourage and cheer the football team along. So with the band and the cheerleaders and the football team, they all make up what you see here on the hill in Houston County in Irish country. Twins to the near side of the field. Busey with a toss to Moran. Trying to find daylight. And no gain on the play, as the Tigers looks like they've spread their defense to try to shut down the running game of the Irish with Moran in the backfield. So once again, as Busey makes his way into the huddle, the Irish offense is stalled on the last few plays and not having a whole lot of success. As Busey finds Ramirez with a little bit of running room. As Busey hits Ramirez on a flare pass to the near side. Picks up about 5-6 yards on the carry, brings up third and about 4 for the Irish. Splits to both sides for the Irish. Moran in the backfield. A little bit of daylight as he makes a couple of good cuts. And that picks up an Irish first down as the chains will move, and as Fighting Irish are now across midfield. As Barnes exits the field. As the Irish go into a straight eye formation with 3 backs lined up in the backfield. Moran unable to find any daylight this time, and we have Another flag on the field. I believe that's probably going to be holding against the Irish. Oh, a false start is the call. As it remains first down, as there's not a loss of down on that play. Busey now under center. Another pitch to Moran. He's got some daylight, and he's taking it to the house as he's pushed out of bounds. As I thought Moran was going to be able to outrun the safety for the Tigers, but Weiser had just a little bit of a better angle than I thought and was able to get Moran, but not after a good run. As Hunter able to get it down to right about the 10-yard line. Busey once again under center. As he hands it off and into the end zone for the touchdown, and that is number 28, Bubba Mills. As Busey handed it off to Mills up the gut. And Mills rambles for about 10 yards for another Irish score. Bringing it to 20-6 for the Irish. Barnes set to once again kick it through the uprights. Kick is up and money. Barnes once again connects as he is 3 for 3 on extra point tonight. Gives the Irish a 2-score lead, 14-6. 21-6, excuse me.
I thought maybe you was working.
I thought you meant laced it or something. He wants to get the jump.
I poured it out of that stuff. Magic dust.
Coconut water.
Did you like that?
It's mighty fine. Thank you.
So big things going on this year. Like I said, always halftime tradition. You'll see the Pride of the Emerald Isle marching band as they'll be performing a halftime routine.
Have we gone to the second inning yet?
We are in the second period. Second inning. You got baseball on the mind?
I always have baseball on the mind.
Barnes.
That's the wrong season.
Barnes once again set to kick the ball away for the Irish. Kick is up and short. Ball received by the Tigers and a little bit of running room. Brought down by number 6, Chance Parker. So the Waverly's able to pick up a good return, bringing it across midfield down inside the 45-yard line. Handoff with no room to run. as the Tigers having no success up the middle as they keep pounding, trying to find an opening. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
I wanted you to know that I almost had to throw a fit against this water. They didn't want to give me no water. They said you don't drink water.
Oh, they're talking. Don't tell us a little.
Hear the noise from the fans, and we're going to have a little reverse play here, and number 85 for the Irish, Gavin Lewis, staying at home, making a big stop in the backfield as the Tigers, with a little trickery, loss on the play for the Tigers, brings up loss of about 4, so it's going to make it about 3rd and 14. Irish showing blitz, putting pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to fumble the ball. And he's going to be brought down once again by Gavin Lewis as the Irish defense collapsed on the quarterback. They were able to cause a fumble, and Huey unable to hang on to it and picks it up, and the Irish still able to make a big stop, causing the fumble and then making the tackle. Once again, putting the pressure on the Tigers, and Waverly having to give the ball up, trying to keep it out of the hands of Moran. And the ball's going to be blocked as Waverly took too long. Ball floated back to the kicker, and the Irish able to get in and get a hand on it. So another big defensive play by the Irish. And looks like Waverly Central is going to call a timeout here. We've already seen 2 big plays on defense, as we've already talked about. We've seen an interception by number 21, Frankie Ramirez, and then the block on the punt gives the Irish excellent field position with 6:43 left to play here in the first half. And
They put a kookaburra in there, right, don't you?
And you know, it's that time of year, the best time of the year for me as far as sports goes is football season. My favorite time of the year, and as we've been saying, high school football has started tonight. A lot of games going on around the region, but here just in a week or so we'll be having college football started up, and you can't forget about the little guys, the junior pro football teams who start their season tomorrow at Stewart County. And things are looking up in Houston County as the Fighting Irish Middle School are now 2-0 as they beat William James the first game of the year, and the other night beat border rival McEwen 18-0 in McEwen. So things looking up in Houston County. Busey looking with some room to run. I don't know exactly what that play was supposed to be, but it looked like to me to be a busted play. as number 28, Bubba Mills, comes up limping. Second and 9 is Barnes splits to the near side. Pitch to Moran, looking for some room. Gonna pick up a few yards on the carry. Third and about 6 for the Irish, as they look to tack on another score here before halftime. Irish gotten away from the shotgun. Busey under center, looking to go deep, and he had Barnes wide open down the sideline, just laid it out a little short. Now brings up 4th and long, so Irish now have to decide here what they want to do. And with a little bit of breathing room, up 21-6, they may take a shot here at 4th down. Like I said, the clock is running, so all they really need to do here is pick up 1st down. And let's see what Busey can do here as they make a pitch to Moran. He's got some room, and his helmet comes off, and he's close to a 1st down. May have come up a little short. And the signal is a Houston County Fighting Irish 1st down, as Moran put his nose down and ran hard and picked up a big 4th and 6. Picked up a 1st down on the carry. Keep the ball alive for the Irish. Busey with a handoff up the middle. Helmets coming off everywhere as Jake Moore runs hard up the middle and picks up a few yards on the carry. And I don't believe I've ever seen that many helmets come off in 2 plays in a ball game. I've seen 3 or 4 helmets come off in the last 2 plays. Jake Moore picks up 5 yards on the carry. Busey once again under center. Looking to pass, and Busey is going to be brought down as number 79 broke through the middle. Trevin Work for the Tigers, and the offensive line for the Irish just collapsed. This brings up 3rd and 7. Busey looking to get some help from the lineman as he makes a toss with a little bit of running room. Moran's got some daylight. He's got 1st down and more. And Moran in for his 3rd touchdown of the night, as the Irish done exactly what I thought they was going to do, and that's tag on another score before half. bringing it to 27-6. All Houston County. As Hunter Moran made another big cut inside the 10 to spring him free. I thought he was going to run out of real estate over on the far side, but makes a big cut and finds himself in the end zone. And Barnes not able to get enough leather on that extra point, and it is no good. But no doubt, the Irish are in control here in the first half with 3:07 left to play. And let me tell you, anytime you can find your defense staying on the field for the majority of the ball game, that tells you one of two things. Either your offense is not scoring, or they're definitely running up the score. And right now, the score is in the Irish favor. With a 3-touchdown lead. It's good to see Coach Clark able to get in a lot of young players in this ball game. We've seen Chance Parker on defense, or on the kickoff team. We've seen Jake Moore, who's entered into the ball game for Bubba Mills, who looks like he's preparing to come back into the ball game. So the news that we have is he rolled his ankle. And Waverly on the return on the short kick by number 3. And I don't have a number on him, but doesn't get much of a return. Don't want to forget some of the younger players seeing actions. Number 11, Nola C. And also a couple of other ones that I'm looking down on the roster trying to find who's been playing. And ball overthrown by the quarterback as the outstretched hands of number 18, Dylan Breeden, as Huey could not connect with Breeden. So it brings up 2nd and long. Also number 56, Hunter Nichols, who has been in the game on defense for the Irish. A young player, a sophomore, getting a lot of playing time. And once again, the Irish defense all over the quarterback as number 1, Dalton Huey, run into a green wall there by the Irish defensive front line. And Waverly, or let me see, I didn't get the signal on that, but we have a timeout taken, and I'm pretty sure it's probably taken by Waverly because everything is just going right in the Irish favor tonight. And don't forget, if you're at the ball games, and I believe I've just heard that announced, Kicking for Cash, am I right?
Right.
And that is sponsored once again by Signature Healthcare here in Houston County. And they give you an opportunity to kick for cash. You can, I believe, Mr. Mike, what was it last year? What was the thing that you could kick for? What was the yardage? You kicked for 25 for
I think it was 25.
25 for 50? Or was it 100?
Well, it might have been 100 yards.
But anyway, hey, money is money.
No, but you got $200 if you could do it.
Okay, and if you could
You
make a
get a $25 gift certificate to one of our local restaurants, and just have a big time.
So if you want an opportunity to kick for $200, anybody has a chance as long as you buy a program.
The lottery.
Huey back to pass, and he's going to be hit as he released the ball. Still out of the reach of the Tiger receiver. Brings up 4th down as Waverly grasping for straws. And it looks like Waverly may be in panic mode. If it had been me, I would have been controlling the clock. But now they're giving the ball back to Houston County with 2:27 left to play in the first half. And Ramirez will let it roll, and it will come to a stop at about the 22-yard line as number 58, Clay Parker, will down it for the Tigers. And once again, Irish offense back on the field.
I want y'all happy. Happy.
Where's the steak? Where's the steak dinner?
The Irish now in shotgun formation. And a pass to Moran as Busey hits a streaking Moran across the middle of the field. And I believe the referees are going to rule it down as the ball came loose. And that will be an Irish first down. As the Irish are in a passing formation with Busey back in shotgun. Twins to both sides of the field. Hits Barnes. But it will be a loss of down on the completion. As the Waverly defender able to tackle Barnes before he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Barnes, once again, pass completed by Busey. Gain of about 2. Brings up 3rd and 13. Busey going deep on this one. And the ball falls incomplete. As Barnes and Ramirez went up for the ball at about the same spot. And looks like Wesley Barnes may have had the wind knocked out of him as he went down after the jump ball. Brings up 4th and 11 as the Irish have an opportunity right here before half to work on their passing game, and have to go hand in hand. Your passing game has to go with your running game, and your running game has to go with your passing game. Can't have one without the other. And as Barnes makes his way back to his feet and is going to walk off the field on his own power, as you see the fans giving him a round of applause. I tell you, this Fighting Irish team, year in and year out, the last 3 or 4 years, have shown a lot of grit and a lot of fight. And they may go down, and at the end of the night, they may be on the losing end of the scoreboard, but they fight every second of the game. And then this is something that's been instilled by the coaching staff here at Houston County. Months of preparation, lifting weights, conditioning, leading up to preparing for the regular season. And the kids have bought into it, and they really enjoy the coaching staff here at Houston County. And things don't always go as you want and as you plan, but if you can get your players to buy into what you're teaching, and then that makes all the difference in the world. And on that series, as they was able to pick up a couple of completions, unable to pick up a first down out of the series, so punt partially blocked as number 6 Chance Parker, with his first opportunity of his high school career to punt the ball away, and done a pretty good job for a freshman. Big shoes to fill when you step in as a freshman on game night and have to take on the duties of a veteran senior. But you have to get your nose wet somewhere, and Huey back pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Is going to be brought down. Able to go nowhere. As is trying to stop the clock. Brings up 2nd and 10. Once again, we have a timeout on the field. As tonight, you'll have an opportunity to see Pride of the Emerald Isle marching band. And we're having to change the clock here for a second. Clock going from 29, and we're putting some time back on the clock from 29 to 44 seconds. He was back in shotgun. Screen pass. Moran there on the stop, along with number 54, Calder Taylor, as they was able to shove him out of bounds before he got to the first down marker. So now with 25 seconds left to play, now the going to be second and short. Huey drops back. Nobody to pass to him. He's being pursued by a lot of green. And number 11, Noah C, as he was able to deflect the pass. As Waverly attempted a deep pass downfield. As once again, they're feeling the pressure. As
no battery.
As Coach Clark a little frustrated on the field with his defensive team, as looks like there's a little bit of confusion on the personnel that needed to be in the ball game. I'm sure he did not want to have to use a timeout to further this half. And we have a little bit of movement on the line after the timeout. And it's going to go against Houston County as Waverly is able to draw them off sides. Gives Waverly another 4 chances if they can get it off with 15 seconds left to try to get another score here before the half. Pressure on the quarterback. As number 34, as the completion was made, number 34, Jason Brooks, able to bring the defender down. As Huey just kind of laid it up there and let the receiver run under it. As Hughes spikes the ball with 4 seconds left here in the first half. Irish should have a pretty good idea about what the Tigers are going to do, because they only have 1 play left in the half to try to get a score on the board. So defensive backs need to be on their toes. The ball is up and into the end zone. Right here before half, we're going to have a flag on the field, so don't go anywhere. A little bit of laundry on the field, and that's going to be on Waverly. And this touchdown will be nullified. So we'll have a do-over here. Hugh in the shotgun, looking deep, ball tap, and we're going to have another flag on the field, and that's in the area of pass interference, and let's see who that goes against. This time it goes against the Irish. So, 2 late penalties here in the first half have stalled this ball game. So we're going to have our third do-over here. Huey drops back once again, looking deep with pressure, having nowhere to go. Trying to find somebody to pass to, finally throws it up with a man open, and he's down short of the goal line. So as the first half comes to a close, the Irish go into halftime with a 27-6 lead, as Waverly was knocking on the door, and the Irish with a big stop. So a good start to this Irish season as we go into halftime. And I'm going to take me a break, and we'll be back after half to bring you the rest of the ball game here on the Hill in Houston County, as you'll have an opportunity here during the half to watch the Proud of Them Are marching band. So stay tuned to WCBN, the Wells Creek Basin Television Network.
multiple award winning Houston County High School Fighting Irish Marching Band. This four-time state championship finals band is under the direction of elected director Mr. William M. Witt, Houston County Director of Band. His staff includes Jenny Campbell, Cooper Gobble, Nick Xavier, Nathan Will, Stacey J. Smith, and Dean Wilkins. Band council includes Nick Moore, James Bentley, Rachel Ross, Dustin Yeti, Mary McSmith, Bailey McRoberts, Raven Cole, J.J. Parrish. The drum major is Scott Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston County High School Fighting Irish Marching Band, the pride of the Emerald Isle.
Hey, Mom, do we have
Where'd he go? He left. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston County High School Fighting Irish Marching has
We're back with you as the halftime has come to a close and both teams are back on the field and the Irish are making their way to the sideline as they have broken their team huddle. Coaches are making their way to the sideline. They're looking for a whole lot of the same in the second half. The Irish hold a 27-6 lead as we begin the second half, but the Irish will have the opportunity to go back on offense and add to the score. Houston County's Hunter Moran.
Hey, Trouble. Hey.
Had a big offensive night as he put 3 total scores on the board for the Irish. Defense for the Irish is led by Frankie Ramirez, who is being on a numerous amount of tackles, and even had an interception that they turned inside the 10-yard line. Opening series for the Waverly Tigers.
Roasted is just on the other side of the field. Okay, but it can seem far. What's the point of that? Roasted is just on the other side of Shannon on the other side of Paris. From Waverly, it takes about 30 minutes to get.
Hudson to the front line.
You know, what I mean, guys, it's a big lot of golf on the
On the field, the Tigers preparing to kick off, led by kicker number 58, Clay Parker. There's Wesley Barnes and Frankie Ramirez back deep to return the kick. Kick is up and away. It's Barnes able to retrieve it, brings it outside the 10. A little bit of an opening. Spins off the tackler and he's still on his feet. He brings the ball outside the 30-yard line down to the 23. The Irish offense will take over here to start the second half. Wesley Barnes took the place of Hunter Moran as he's over on the sideline loosening up. He's ready to take his spot in the backfield for the Irish.
Is a marching band for Waverly. But a friend of mine has got one of her kids in the marching band for Waverly. So,
Houston under center start the second half.
Plus, a very good friend of ours has got a daughter that's cheerleading down there.
And now up the middle looking for a little room. Number 26, Jake Moore. Picks up a couple of yards on the carry. Just a little short dive up the middle to get the nerves settled back down after halftime. Second half started. Hopefully generating some big offense in this night for the Irish.
Second one's almost close to Jimmy Bird.
There's the pitch to Moran. He is met in the backfield by number 52, Sean Douglas for the Tigers. And on that carry right there, there's just no blocking for the Moran. There's the Irish break the hole. Barnes hitting the near side. Houston throws it up and almost picked off. Defensive backs collapsed on Barnes as he was taken down the sideline and he's a lone receiver. Brings up 4 down as Barnes will have to get up to the Tigers. Good punt. Mishandled by the Tigers. Still mishandled. Ball's on the ground. Still on the ground. Let's see who comes away with it. Mishandled by Waverly. Irish come up in good field position down inside the 15-yard line in the red zone. Hands off up the middle. Carried by number 34, Jason Brooks. Number 11, Noah Seaton in the ball game. The receiver for the Irish.
Don't something.
C lines up far side of the field. Straight eye backfield for the Irish. Pitch to Moran looking for running room. As he's knocked out of bounds. Right about the 12-yard line. So brings up 3rd and long for the Irish, and Coach Clark elects to take a timeout here with 9:18 to play in the 3rd period. Irish knocking on the door, looking to put another score on Waverly here early in the 2nd half. This broadcast is being brought to you by WCBN, the Wells Creek Basin Television Network. Back with you after the timeout as Barnes, who has been a little injured, comes from the sideline. He's now back in the ball game along with Ramirez, and Barnes strikes across the middle and had his hands on it, but got his feet tangled up and unable to hang on to the pass. Brings up 4th and about 15 for the Irish, and they're not looking for a field goal here. They're looking to put another touchdown on the board. And they can actually get a first down without getting into the end zone. Usually drops back pass, throws it up, but throws it out of bounds, out of the reach of Ramirez. So Waverly will get the ball back as Irish turn the ball over on downs. So after a big special teams fumble recovery by the punt team of the Irish unable to capitalize. Give the ball back to the Tigers, but deep in Tiger territory as the running back, I believe number 44, Lane Emerson, makes his way up the middle for a gain of about 4-5 yards maybe. Tigers take a timeout.
They got a 52 on the defense, or I keep saying something wrong.
Huh?
We have a 52 on our defense. Is it a 42? I know we got a 42, but I keep saying 52. I don't see it.
I don't see it on them.
I don't know.
Oh, we don't have 52 out there. And we're back with you as Waverly gets their first opportunity on offense. Actually, their second opportunity as their in their first series of the second half was able to pick up a 5-yard gain, and on their second chance they pick up about 2 on the play, brings up 3rd and about 3. As we're going to have a penalty, probably offside against the Tigers. So after 2 positive carries, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Tigers. Irish putting pressure on the quarterback. Huey drops back and nowhere to go, and Big Green converges on the quarterback. That's number 57, number 52, and I believe number 85, Gavin Lewis, was all there. And on the tackle of Huey. Brings up 4th down in dangerous territory for Waverly, as the punter is now standing in the end zone, and he's able to get the ball away as Moran elects to let it roll. Rolls dead down around the 49-yard line. And we have another timeout. Broadcast being brought to you by WCBN Channel 12, the Wells Creek Basin Television Network. Irish back out of the timeout as Busey once again under center for Houston County. Busey drops back, hands off to Moran, and's got it, some running room. As Moran picks up a 1st down and more. As they drag Moran off the field, I believe he's cramping maybe. Jake Moore now back at tailback. And for the injured Moran, as Jake Moore is taking on multiple roles for this Irish backfield here tonight. As he was replaced Bubba Mills earlier in the night.
You'll eat this. I don't want it. I ate some earlier for you the other day.
Fumble on the play, as is a bad exchange in between Busey and
Chicken sandwich.
Moore. Irish able to fall on it.
They gave me my coffee, so I can.
Irish break huddle with 3 receivers with Moore in the backfield. Busey finds Barnes. But Barnes attempts to catch the pass under pressure and unable to hang on to it. Ball falls incomplete. Brings up 4th and long. Barnes back to kick it deep into Tiger territory. High kick. Not going to get a real good roll, but it's going to fall dead right about the 20-yard line. And we have a flag that I've just noticed. Against Waverly. So we'll try this again with a re-kick. Barnes able to maneuver a little bit, get the ball away. Going to pick up a decent roll. That's going to be a late hit. Once again, going to be a personal foul penalty. That was on the quarterback. That was pretty bad having a cheap shot coming from the quarterback. And that opens yourself up to further punishment in a ball game.
Back up.
Moran still sitting on the ground. Looks like to me he's must be having some severe cramps. Really no need for him to enter back into the ball game with the lead that the Irish have. And another timeout. This has been a ball game full of timeouts.
Yeah, long game, man.
It's not exciting. I mean, you know, when you're pushing everything you got, that's when it's. I mean, our side is pushing. Maybe our coach has their attention.
There's a little trainer down there, Mike.
Do what?
There's a little trainer down there. There's a little lady here too. Trainer.
I don't know. I don't even
See the
see
fire
it.
department? You're on the
Yeah.
gate.
It could be the fire department.
You cook this up and you
After the timeout, Houston County
I know they're good sandwiches, but they didn't have anything. But they didn't have French fries.
Business is good.
Yeah.
Defense on the field. Reverse coming back this way. As the tackle from behind
Oh, we have the ball.
made by number 85, Gavin Lewis.
Does a pretty good wish.
Yeah, you done a good job.
Well, it's hard to find a chicken trap bigger than regular.
3:40 left to play here in the third period. Big stuff up the middle by number 34 and number 54. Number 34 being Jason Brooks and number 54 being Calder Taylor. Once again, Tigers not having much success up the middle tonight, because that's pretty much where they have based their game at. And the Irish budging very little, if any at all. And Tigers with a big push there. Brings the ball out past the 25-yard line, and Tigers on that carry able to pick up one of very few first downs that they've had tonight. And we have a flag on the play.
Delay of game.
I believe that will be a delay of game penalty.
No, against us.
Wow. That was thrown in the defensive backfield of the Irish. And don't know really what that was all about. Waverly once again picking up about 3 yards on the carry, 4 yards. Brings up 2nd and 6. After a pretty active first half, the second half has slowed down. Not a lot of action going on, a few penalties. Handoff tackle made by number 63, Romez Jones. Brings up 3rd and about 5. And we got a flag on the field, but the back for Waverly able to break free, and number 11, Nola C, able to make the open field tackle. Like I said, we do have a penalty at the end of the play. There's going to be a personal foul against Houston County. So, on this series, penalties have killed the Irish and allowing Waverly to march into Fighting Irish territory. Another big stop, this time by number 57, Greg Hughes. As we have multiple players, or I said multiple players, one player down on the field. It's number 58. Clay Parker down for a moment, but looks like we have another timeout with 24 seconds left to play here in the third period. Not a lot has changed since the first half. Still a 27-6 score in Houston County favor. Back in action here after the timeout. 2nd and 10. That's number 1, Huey, under center. Another big stop by the Irish. Gain of a couple, as I believe time is going to expire before we get another playoff. So as we end the third quarter, looking forward to the fourth. Irish with a 21-point lead, looking to start this season off with a big win tonight against a rival in Waverly Central. One of a few games that are considered rivals here in the county. Nice night for football here in Houston County, as it was pretty humid during the day and has cooled off and clear outside, and just a nice night for football here on the hill in Houston County. Here we go, starting the fourth quarter of action. Huey under center for Waverly. Oh, we got a flag on the field now. It's going to be a false start against Waverly. Tigers break the huddle as they line up with twins to the far side. With an eye backfield. Huey drops back to pass. Throws the ball deep. Finds his man wide open. That pass to number 18, Dylan Breeden. As he just outrun the defensive backs of Houston County. Cuts the lead from 21. And Waverly looking to tack on another point as it kicks up and it is good. So 27-13 score as it now a 2-touchdown lead, still in command of the Irish, but you never like to see your defense give up a easy score like that. But still being the first game of the year, a lot of things still to work on for the Irish. Special teams on the field. Tigers already set up to kick it away, and Irish about to get set as Barnes and Ramirez back for the Irish. Kicks up, and Barnes comes up with it. Oh, and he's got some room, and it's a foot race. And he's going to outrun the Waverly kickoff team and into the end zone, streaking down the sideline. It's Wesley Barnes as he found a hole and turned the Jets on. Big kickoff return for the Fighting Irish. And that's the way to answer back, especially when your defense gets a little down on herself after giving up an easy touchdown in the previous series. Way to get the confidence back. As Barnes scored 6, and now he'll hopefully add an extra point here. Kick is up, and it's going to be short, so. But nonetheless, score now 33-13. as once again we'll have special teams on the field, but it'll be reversed roles this time, as Waverly will be preparing to return the kick and Houston County will be kicking off. Barnes set to kick it away. Kicks up and short but high, and tackle made by number 42 for the Irish, Chris Flinton. And so the Irish defense will take over, as we still have a lot of ball game left here in the fourth quarter. And after a stellar third period, the fourth quarter got started with a bang. As Wesley Barnes took the kickoff back on a long run for the Irish, but not after Waverly Central puts score of their own on the board on a deep pass by Huey. Huey once again looking to pass, throwing deep. And out of the hands of the receiver, as that could have been another big score, as Damian Chappelle let the receiver get just a little bit behind him, and as the cornerback was outmatched. But Damian, just being a sophomore cornerback, getting a little playing time along with a lot of the other young players. And 26 busts another one, as he did earlier in the ball game. Number 26, Austin Malone, strikes again. Waverly Central set to kick the PAT. And it's no good, as now we're to a 33-20 ball game. Central once again kicks it away. This time Ramirez will get a stab at it. See if he can get some running room. And Central just collapses on Ramirez as he really had no room to run after he had bobbled. As Houston County starts his drive with the worst field position that they've had all night. As Busey hadn't seen the field in a pretty good while, so it'd be interesting to see if he's been able to stay loose. There's a handoff as Jake Moore picks up some positive yardage. Busey makes his way from the sideline after picking up play. Irish break huddle. Glad we're going to have twins on the near side of the field. And a timeout called. With just over 10 minutes left to play in the ball game, the Irish with a 33-19 lead. As the offense for the Irish has been pretty much absent here in the second half of action, as Hunter Moran has been out of the ball game, as he has had some issues with cramping tonight, even though he had a tremendous first half. Like we have a number of players on the field cramping up. We also have another player down on the sideline that I really can't tell who it is. And just out of the end zone, very close to being a safety, was Busey as he took the sack. And the Irish in a dangerous position here, as they have to be very careful. Busey throws one up. Throws it out of bounds in an attempt to, I believe it hit Ramirez down the field. So the Irish on fourth down have to punt this ball away and also make sure that they don't step out of the end zone. And Ramirez, Barnes able to get a decent punt away, and as Ramirez sneaks up behind. The return man trips him up as Ramirez come out of nowhere. So not a bad kick considering the position they was at on the field. Hugh takes it outside and keeps it himself. Once again, going for very little gain as Frankie Ramirez tracks him down. Gain of about 4. Brings up second. About 6. He throws it up. And another touchdown. This one to number 35, Johnny Krzyzmowski. And Waverly now back in this ball game, as it is now a 33-25 score. Bobble on the snap as it's snuffed out by number 34 and number 54, 34 being the first player there. Jason Brooks and Calder Taylor, who have been a duo on a number of stops tonight. So after thinking that Waverly was out of this ball game, they have narrowed it to a 8-point difference. Kicks up and away. Ramirez catches it on a bounce, and he's got some room as he tiptoes down the sideline. Ball handed off up middle to number 34, Jason Brooks. as he picks up no gain on the carry. Irish break huddle. Hand off to Moore. Once again going nowhere. And momentum has shifted. As a loss of about 3 brings up 3rd and 12. Pitch to Moran. He's back into the ball game. Picks up 2 yards. Back to about the original line of scrimmage. Pretty close. Gonna bring up 4th down. So Barnes back to punt it away for the Irish. And we're going to have false start against the Irish. Number 26, Jake Moore. Good punt. This is going to get an Irish roll down inside the 25-yard line. So we have a timeout with 5:37 left to play in this ball game. Irish holding on to a slim lead of 33-25. This broadcast being brought to you by WCBN, the Wells Creek Basin Television Network. All right, after the timeout. And tackle made on the far side of the field on the ball carrier as he lost about a yard, maybe 2 on the carry.
Second and 10 for the Tigers. Ball on the
Hand off up the middle. Stuffed up the middle. 57 on the tackle. Gregory Hughes.
We need mojo. We need mojo.
Third and 10 for the Tigers. Tigers made 2 big stops here on defense. Ball's thrown up. And a catch made right at midfield. As number 18 for Waverly is down on the field. It would be Dylan Breeden as he took a helmet to the knee.
Well, we done run out of time. Next time I'll bring a.
I'm gonna bring the cord, Mike.
I'm gonna bring another cord.
The AC adapter.
Huh?
Need your AC adapter, don't you?
Yeah.
What our boys fixing to get beat up.
I will.
You know,
They almost, if they'd have got that 2 points they was trying for, then all they'd have needed was one more touchdown.
We got a lot of guys living around the
Breeden up, back to the sidelines.
So we got a lot of thinking.
Just look out there at them.
And Moran there on a close pickoff as it is in and out of his hands. Irish call a timeout. Back with you after the Irish timeout. Second and about 10 for the Tigers. Once again, pressure being applied by the Irish. Quarterback picking up a gain of about 8, but we're going to have a flag. It's going to be holding against the Tigers. So that's going to be brought back. And that'll be a spot foul, so push the Tigers back deep in their end of the field. Be second and about 22 for the Tigers. Pressure on the quarterback and almost picked off as Gregory Hughes and number 54, Calder Taylor, was all over the quarterback as he took a shot in the attempts just to get the ball away. And as we have another timeout, brings up 3rd and about 22 for the Waverly Central Tigers. Screen pass. And breaking tackles, and he's free again. Finally brought down by Hunter Moran. But not after a big gain. Carry once again by Austin Malone, who's already had 2 big runs tonight. This time Huey hit him on a screen pass and was able to break a few tackles and make a big gain out of it. Huey drops back in the grasp. Moran able to knock the pass away. That was intended for number 25, Jesse Dredden. Brings up 2nd and long for the Tigers. Huey draws back once again. This time it's going to be overthrows his receiver. Now 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. Huey takes the snap. This time it's picked off by Moran. And he's got some running room. And it's going to be a big return. But I believe we have a flag on the field. And it looks like it's going against the Irish. So after what we thought was going to be a game-ending situation, the Irish find herself not only having to redo the play, but finding herself allowing Waverly to get closer to the end zone.
How did they get the ball?
So now 1st and 10. As Hugh drops back to pass with pressure. Finds his receiver. But Morin able to keep it out of the end zone as he tripped him up just a little shy of the end zone.
I don't understand that.
And Waverly trying it up the middle. With the green wall set up. Time running out. 2nd and 4. Down less than a minute left in the ball game. Irish needing a big stand here. Handoff up the middle. No good. Third and 4 for the Irish, and Irish able to come away with a big stop to end the first half, denying Waverly of a touchdown to end the second period. The Irish looking for another big stop here to end the ball game. As Waverly, all they can do is tie this ball game up to send it into overtime. But the Irish if the Irish can stop them here on 2 straight plays, then that will pretty much seal this ball game, barring anything happening on that end of the field. And the signal is a touchdown. So coming up is Waverly will have to try a 2-point conversion here. Tie this ball game up. So the Irish needing a big stand here. Quarterback rolling out, finding nobody, and it's a fumble, and that can be returned. And that's going to be returned by Gavin Lewis. So it looks like it was ruled dead on the fumble recovery. I got a little ahead of myself because I believe in TSSA, I don't think you're actually allowed to return it for a score. But nonetheless, that pretty much has sealed the victory for the Houston County Fighting Irish. As number 58 will Chase Parker will Clay Parker will try an onside kick for, and Houston County has recovered it. So all they have to do now is run out the clock, and that will take place with Lee Busey taking a knee after a hard-fought ball game by the Irish. Clock will tick, and with Waverly having no timeouts, that signals the end of the ball game as it looked like it was going to be an easy night for Houston County. Waverly Central comes back and makes a ball game of it. Final score will be Houston County Fighting Irish in the opening game of the season at home here on the hill in Houston County. Final score is Houston County Fighting Irish 33. Waverly Central Tigers 31. And as for me and Mike Davis and Slab Johnson, our cameraman for tonight, we want to say thank you for tuning into this broadcast, and we will pick you up on the next one, which will be, actually our next home ball game is against Lancaster Christian, which will be homecoming here on the hill. But there's 2 ball games before that. There's Stewart County, which will be next week. If you want to root on the Irish, go to Stewart County and root on the Irish from Rebel Country. And
They
then
done sent us a wreath. We ought to send them one back.
And Nashville Christian, 3rd on the schedule for the Irish. And then we're back at home September 13th for homecoming against Lancaster Christian. And as for, like I said, it's for